my thing.
I'm trying to beat the clock.
Trying. Hello. We're back tonight on another Wednesday to answer some questions, to hang out a little bit, to rave on how awesome we had a great time in North Carolina, meeting a bunch of different people.
Yes. If y'all came to the North Carolina meet and greet, thank y'all so much. Like, y'all made it an amazing time. It was a great time. Great event.
It was awesome. So we had like 75 people that showed up.
I'm gonna say, I was going with the high. Lisa said 60 something. I was like, it felt more than 60.
I think she just wanted to go with 60 because that's what she guessed.
Oh, go.
Yeah, no, I think we had about like 75 people show up because they came in and out and everything. So, I'm starting to work on getting stuff ready for Texas. So super excited about that. I'm trying to figure out an actual venue and everything. So lots of stuff to come with that.
Austin, Texas, October 15th. Be there or be square. What is going on, y'all? I hope y'all having a fantastic
Happy, what's up? Texas is going to be a little far from you. You drove down from Pennsylvania. It's going to be a little far from you now. Hello. Good to see you guys on here. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
What is going on, y'all?
Howdy. Good to see you all on here. Louisiana. All right. So we're on here to be able to answer some questions, be able to chat up a little bit. I didn't have anything too crazy today. Today was therapy day, but it wasn't too crazy.
I gotta get back in therapy. My therapist baby got sick, so I missed the last couple of sessions because the baby's sick. So. But we're back in there. Motivations. I'm sharing it right now on my Facebook.
Sounds good. Brittany says, hey. Brittany, I heard back from one of the venues that you suggested, and then I just found a couple others that I like too. So we're narrowing it down here.
It's going to be an amazing event. So that's Brittany that came to the event. Oh yeah, hey Brittany.
Yeah.
What's up?
She drove all the way from Texas to come see us.
Oh, yeah. Now we flying to Texas to come see you. So we're on the way back. We're moving around. So Texas is on the venue. Austin, Texas.
Coming up soon. It's pretty crazy.
I feel like I'm spending.
Oh, sorry, my.
Can living with a narcissist make you be a narcissist? No, not necessarily. So that comes from early childhood development, emotional maturity, things like that. Will the next stop be after Texas? I don't know just yet. So we're working on that. It'll probably be the next year because we're gonna have to kind of sit back, make some extra plans. And my goal is we sit back, take a breather, get some brainstorm, and roll out with 6 locations next year.
Well, it's gonna be a good one.
Do like one every other. We're either gonna do one every other month, or we'll just do like the month of July and just go everywhere since July is so slow for us.
Oh, I can't even see the chat. Narc fleas.
Austin, Texas. We don't know. We don't have a venue just yet. We got 11 weeks to figure it out. Well, not as much as that, but narc fleas are some of their behaviors rub off a little bit. I mean, so narcissistic fleas are like when you have behaviors that you rub off from the narcissist, and so you become a little bit narcissistic in nature in some aspects. But it doesn't mean that you turn into a narcissist.
No, you can't turn into me. You wouldn't want to be me. You wouldn't want to be Ben.
Come see the snow in NYC. Y'all should come to DC. Yeah, absolutely. How do I support a very good friend living with a narcissist who hates me because I can see right through him and she can't?
That's tough right there. So that's one of those tough missions you have to be on right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the narcissist is going to be in her ear. You're trying to be in her ear, so y'all are kind of competing against each other right there. You know.
Yeah.
It is tough watching somebody go through, dealing with a narcissist, and you can see it, and sometimes they can see it too. Sometimes they just they don't
admit it.
family.
Yeah, I think like a big thing that comes down to it as well is like boundaries. Like you're gonna have to set boundaries for yourself of like how much you're gonna tolerate. And it might be something that you don't tolerate, like staying in their life that long.
Yes.
So yes, narcissism is on a spectrum. Who did like the video on that? It was Sam, right?
Yeah, she did a video very recently. Yeah, I had to go find it to reshare it.
Yeah.
It's a good video.
Yeah, I think like that's good. Yeah, so like definitely like a spectrum. It'd be like the idea of like narcissism. You've got like tendencies and traits all the way up to diagnosis. Then you have kind of like sociopath and then like psychopath. So, Cece, we see your comment. Calm down there. There you go. Are narcissistic people miserable? Since you said they mirror people as if they don't have a real personality.
I wouldn't say I'm miserable. I feel like I have periods of miserableness, but I feel like most people would go through that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think mirroring you means I'm miserable. I think sometimes it means I'm trying to pick up on better quality. So me personally, I mirror people trying to pick up on their qualities that I'm jealous of, that I want to kind of incorporate into my own being. You know what I mean? I want to I will kind of like I'm just trying to build myself up and do something better because I'm not happy with where I am. Where I am, it's hard being happy. Totally.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now that I'm moving out from trauma bond, what's the risk don't block the ex-narc?
Do you not want to block? You want to keep the lines of communication open? I feel like the risks of that are going to be pretty big, honestly. I feel like if you want to truly break the trauma bond, you have to cut off the contact from that person.
Yeah.
Because I always say you can't fully heal in the same environment that makes you sick. So you can't really truly break the trauma bond while you're still in communication with that person, because sooner or later they're going to say something that triggers a response from you sooner or later, or they're going to pop up on you. I just feel like blocking is going to be the best key for y'all.
Yeah, I feel like you can't really say I'm moving out of the trauma bond if you're still have that door open, I guess.
Well, close the door.
Why would a narc want you to participate in activities you are better than them at, knowing it angers them? That's a good question.
So why would a narc want to participate in activities? I can't really answer that question. I don't like doing stuff I'm not good at. Honestly.
That's very true. Like for me, I'd want to disengage. Like, like I don't want to do that. Like that's not something that's like fun. I think there could be an aspect of like a narcissist wanting to participate in those activities that you're better than them at. Maybe either to play the victim or maybe because they get off on that. Like there's different ones of like getting called out. It's supply more than supply is typically looked at. Or
they're trying to get forgiven from something. Like they're in the stage of doing what you want them to do for forgiveness.
Yeah,
and, I don't like I don't like bowling, but if I'm trying to get forgiven, I'm trying to hit strikes and gutter balls and all kinds of other good stuff.
Have we met any other self-aware narcs and able to have decent friendships?
So self-aware narcissists. It's other than Cluster B Milkshake, I haven't interacted with anybody else, honestly.
Yeah.
Typically, the self-aware narcissists that come out of
I'm not convinced that she's just a narcissist. So.
Oh yeah, no. She got a splash. She's a milkshake. But other narcissistic people typically most I've encountered are angry and try to say I'm adding to the stigma or just they're not very nice guys. So
right, those narcissists. Gosh, do narcissists know what they're doing or that they are one? I think a lot of times they would either not identify as one or they'll run away from it. But I think a lot of times they do know what they're doing to the level of they do it around certain people and not around certain other people. So like that's why they end up like abusing you a lot of times, but they don't abuse other people or they don't come across that way.
Yeah. And that's why they know what this. I've done a video very recently on it on YouTube, I think yesterday, where they know what they're. This is how you know that. This is how you know that they know what they're doing, because they hide it. They don't, they keep it. They tell you to keep this stuff private. I'm a private person. Don't tell your mom what's going on. Don't tell your dad. Don't tell your friends. But if it's because they know it's bad stuff. Now, if it's good stuff, tell them. They want you to shout it from the rooftops. You know what I mean? But they want to whisper the bad stuff. They know the difference between right and wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to talk about them ruining other people's special days?
The narcs love ruining other people's special days. Today's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. That's what I tell this to people all the time. Like, yes, you're like my wife's birthday is in a couple of days. I'm planning on ruining it right now. Joking. Don't take that to the y'all like, look, I'm warning your wife. No, I'm not gonna ruin her birthday. But her birthday is on the 31st of this month. But typically, special days, if it's not celebrating the narcissist or not giving them praise, or they can't take credit for your special day, like your birthday, how can they take credit for your birthday? That's your day, that's your birth, but you were born X amount of years ago. You should be celebrating being alive every single day. Me particularly, I don't care about birthdays. My birthday was a couple weeks ago and came and went. It just means I'm 37 years old now. So don't expect narcissistic people to celebrate with you on anything. Will some of them do it? Yeah, some of them will go super over the top to try to overshadow your special day with what they do for you, and others will completely ignore you, rage out on you, give you the silent treatment, or ruin your special day. That's why I tell people, celebrate with everybody else. You have a good birthday, celebrate with other people. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you're not trying to leave, celebrate with other people first. Don't let them ruin your birthday. It's my birthday, and they were gone all day. Duh, they're not. And this is the 5th time they've done it in a row.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep doing it, y'all, it's not gonna stop. Years and years and years.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Eric asks, any advice for not ruminating so much? I've been no contact for almost 2 months, but still think about him constantly. I feel like I know everything I can know, but I'm still looking for answers. So a lot of times I'll answer this 2 ways. So one, you might be looking for closure. And a lot of times people think that closure comes from the narcissist when closure actually comes from you. It comes from acknowledging and admitting what actually happened in the relationship, like the truth of the relationship. A lot of times people think that they need to get that from another person, when in all reality, closure from the other person only looks like them actually admitting it or actually acknowledging it. And the narcissist isn't going to do that. So closure has to come from you. And the second thing with the idea of like ruminating is breaking the trauma bond, which is rewiring your mind with being able to tell the correct story based on the truth of the situation. So people that oftentimes get out of a situation and they're out for months or years, they're still stuck in their mind. They're still trapped and they don't have freedom in their mind because they're still telling themselves a different story, a fake story that's built on the fantasy, whether that's the trauma bond, the cognitive dissonance, the hope and potential, but they're telling themselves a story that ultimately keeps them stuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna add one more thing about the rumination. What are you typically doing when you're ruminating? Because typically when I ask people, like, what are you doing when you're ruminating? I'm sitting at home in the bed by myself. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's always certain things that set you off and trigger you. Why is this thing triggering you? Like, what are you doing? Break whatever state you're in. Like, if you're sitting there, by yourself meditating and that person pops up in your head, get up and move. Mm-hmm. Break your state. Break whatever state you're in when you're ruminating. Break it. You know what I mean? Attach more. You got to attach more pain to that memory than pleasure. Because typically, you're trying to fix like what could I have done differently? Nothing. You could have been more vulnerable and more allowed yourself to be more manipulated and gaslit. What am I wrong? I can't talk straight today. Let me gotta reset. Where am I resetting?
Brittany said our skin looks ridiculously clear and shiny on our TV. The lighting is working, y'all.
What's that glow? The narcissistic glow. That's how you can tell. That's a sign, y'all.
Literally, I'm in my wife's office. I haven't done the lighting yet. It's literally a lamp that I tilted like sideways. It's like leaned up against the bookshelf.
Oh, really?
Not bright. Oh, wow. Yeah. Like literally.
Oh, wow.
That's all it is.
Oh, So this is what I got. The little light from Amazon.
Right.
Well,
Those things will blind you.
yeah, that's why I have one over here. It's turned. It's like on the wall. I could turn it towards me. And it'll be right in my face. But I was like, man.
Do narcissists intentionally try to make you jealous? If so, why?
I feel like if I say yes, then that's why. I mean, just like to make you jealous. Honestly, they just like want to perpetuate that they're happier without you, because making you jealous means that it invalidates your experience in your life and your worth and things like that. If I'm posting my new boo, I'm making you jealous and you're jealous. Like my new boo, I upgraded. Down finally free. That stuff is to hurt you. It's supposed to hurt you, make you feel a certain type of way, make you feel less than. You know, do I tell you I tell people turn off the Narcissist TV. Just flip it off. It's a flat screen on your wall. Flip the Narcissist TV off. Don't watch the social media. Don't watch. Don't talk to the mutual friends about what they're doing. Don't do that. That's reality TV, Narcissist edition. Keeping up with the narcissist. There you go. Coin that.
Right. There you go. That's good. That's good. I discarded the narc 2 years ago. His new girlfriend of 1.5 years is stalking me on TikTok. Can you tell me why?
That she's pathetic. I don't know what the hell people say to y'all to make y'all want to stalk their exes, but I get it. But still,
the ex is stalking her.
Yeah, the ex. Yeah, the ex is the new girl is stalking.
The new girlfriend ex. The ex's girlfriend.
I don't know what kind of magic they're doing to you to make you want to stalk their ex, not your ex, their ex. Typically, it's triangulation. They're talking down on a person. They're talking down on you so much. Mm-hmm. The other person, has an enemy. They're trying to be a ride or die person. Just like, look, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for you, just to prove how much I love you. I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna stalk your ex. I'm gonna harass your ex. I'm gonna do this for you. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's unmitigated. It's like there's no reason behind it. Just because the narcissist said do it, they're trying to be yes man and yes woman. They want to do it. They're just trying to do it to satisfy the narcissistic person or to eliminate you from that person's life. Because sometimes the narcissist is hyping you up. They're like, oh, my ex did this, my ex did that. Now they want to eliminate you because you're too good for them. Narcissists don't always talk down on their exes, y'all. There's a little splash. Sorry, y'all. Mm-hmm. The new supply can definitely be the worst flying monkey. I just saw that in the comment section.
Yeah. No, absolutely. A lot of flying monkeys with that aspect. Yeah.
Why does he have to send me an email daily to tell me he's done when I haven't contacted him? That means he's not done. He got you. It sounds like he had to get you on a drip campaign or a mailing list or something like that. Right. You're using mailer light on you right now. Happy people that have moved on don't need to tell you every day that they're moving on. Mm-hmm. That's to try to trigger a response out of you to get you to respond to them. Block it. If you can, block that issue.
Megan says, I can't completely block my ex-husband because of kids. I've set boundaries, but he still managed to cross it. How are some days better than others with a narc? It's like a lot of the two different questions in there, really.
Yeah. What kind of boundaries are they crossing? Because the boundaries are not for Ben. Ben talks a lot about boundaries more than I do. But the boundaries, I'm gonna just say this: the boundaries are for you. They're not for them. Yeah, they're going to cross the boundaries because you set them forward. Just because habitual narcissistic people are habitual line steppers, right. Habitual boundary crossers. They're going to do it just because they don't want you telling them what to do or how to parent and things like that, just to interfere with you. So
yeah. No, absolutely. And I think the other thing too with the ex-husband and kids, like how are you like working on like enforcing those boundaries too, like with third-party apps or third-party drop-off, like whatever you can do to minimize that communication. But then also like a boundary has to have a consequence. And if you can't think of a consequence, then it's really not a boundary. It's just a speed bump for him to keep running over you. So you really have to be careful of that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. They said going no contact is the best thing I've done. So many great things happen, and he's losing his mind because he doesn't know what's going on with me, and I want to keep it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. Everybody doesn't like realize, but like when you go no contact, that's when you win.
Yes.
You get free.
You win. But it's like so when you say he's losing his mind, be careful with that, because when you go no contact, sometimes if they can pop up on you, they can. I talked to a woman today. She's in New York. Dude climbed the fire escape. On one of the apartment buildings, climbed the fire escape to her third floor apartment because she wasn't answering the phone and she wasn't no contact with him. Protect yourself, please.
Yeah, careful. How do you heal from a narcissistic relationship? Well, that's a whole book in and of itself. But yeah, we don't have any of our books, do we?
Yeah, God, we gotta start doing these earlier so I can be at the office.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so like with healing from a narcissistic relationship, like one's acknowledging the truth, understanding like where you're actually coming from, everything that you've been through. Typically then getting with a therapist or working with a coach to be able to help break the trauma bond, help process the stuff that you have to go through, because it's crazy making. Lisa Sunny has a great course out there for breaking the trauma bond. It's like a 12-week course. It's really good. Lee meets with people. I coach people. Like there's a lot of different people that we try to interact with to try to be able to help heal from that. My platform is based on awareness, growth, healing, and change. And I talk to people daily across the globe, trying to help them understand how they can actually work and get free from that, how they can get the triggers reduced, even like eradicated, so that person doesn't have that pull over them anymore.
There you go. So perfect. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat for the trauma bond course. I'm gonna do it on YouTube and on Facebook. So the Facebookers can check it out too. I just put it in there. So y'all check that link out. It's a great course. Lisa Sunny is amazing, and she was at the in person. She flew in from Canada to be at the meeting, y'all. So.
While we were together, his ex still wanted to be with him. Does she not know he's a narc? Is she one too? So, I mean, there's a couple things like that. Like, one, did you actually see that? Because it could have been him just triangulating you, and that actually wasn't the case. Like, all my exes want to be with me. You never really know. And then there's other times where, when maybe if you haven't broken up with them, when you break up with them, there'll be times that you'll want to go back or you'll want to get closure. Now, a lot of times, like the narcissist will create these like crazy making scenarios that makes an ex want to come back and want to come after the narcissist, even when they're in another relationship. And they use that person when they reach out as a form to triangulate the next person.
So it also sounds like you might have been the new supply. Yeah. He might have been giving you everything that the old person was asking for, creating that want. And she might have been trauma bonded. So again, everybody's situation is going to be different. Every battle is going to be different as well. I'm trying to respond to these comments. Dr. Romney is wonderful. She is. Yeah, she's cool.
Oh, here you go. You want to take this one?
Is it possible to have a healthy relationship with a narcissist? What do you say? I feel like y'all need to write down your definition of what healthy is, and then compare it. Do a Venn diagram with narcissism, with the personality disorder, and a healthy relationship, and see how much of those things cross together. Not very many things are going to cross together. So I don't even think my relationship now with my wife is normal. I think we have a new normal. I think we kind of just adjusted. Because we've been together so long, and I've been in therapy, and she's been in therapy, and we did marriage counseling. We've kind of just adjusted to each other more, so our relationship works better now. It's probably not going to be the same standards of what y'all would consider normal or the healthiest. Because everybody's definition of healthy is going to be different. With a narcissist, an unaware narcissist, I'm gonna just say no. I'm gonna just flat out say no. You won't have a healthy relationship with an unaware narcissistic person,
right?
Because they're going to be blaming you for a lot of the things that y'all do. So that's more of a dream right there, to have a healthy relationship with a narcissist. That's like, that's cloud nine type stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Lisa, would love to be able to talk, be able to help out any way that we can. We've got links in both of our bios. You can go to my website, rawmotivations.com, grab a one-on-one there. Definitely want to be able to help you out however we can.
Yes. Thank you, Chris.
When is a narc the happiest? Will they ever be happy? Are you happy at like the morning or the afternoon or the night? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Will they ever be? I feel like, I don't know. When is it? Yeah, I feel like you asked a similar question. Oh no, this is a new supply question you asked me. I remember that Z name.
Yeah.
When did they? I feel like whenever the happiest is when they have the most control of everything. I would say that. I was like when they have the most control of the most things that they want to have control over. You know, when things are going in a narcissist way. But then
It's like the biggest high.
yeah, I feel like happiness is also fleeting. They want control over more things. Once they feel like they have everything in their control circle, they'll want more stuff. So happiness, it kind of comes in and goes out quickly. You know?
Yeah, like I don't think like an unaware narc will be ever happy in one sense because they're always going to be looking. But I think they don't have the self-reflection to actually look at their circumstances and look at the things around them and experience and demonstrate gratitude and touch into joy, which is a big driver of actual happiness.
There you go.
When you say narcissists are angry, is that a trait? Why are they so angry and mean? So it's not a trait as far as like DSM-5 or anything like that. It's not like angry makes up like a narcissist. But angry and mean oftentimes comes with manipulation and control. Of like, if I have to manipulate and control you, but you're not going to respond the first time, then I'll get angry, I'll get upset. But it also goes through like the cycle. And a lot of times I'll talk to different people in like coaching sessions, like helping them understand the narcissistic cycle of when they get triggered by guilt and shame and they get to a place where they start blaming everybody else. And when that doesn't work, then they start raging and lashing out.
Did the links not pop up? I didn't see them. I didn't see them come in the chat. Can y'all talk about that? Okay. Sorry.
I don't see them. Yeah.
It was right by Brittany's comment. Apparently it didn't pop up. It was right by Brittany's comment when I put it in there. But Lisa Sunny, stronger than before, y'all.
Can you be autistic and narcissistic, or have you ever looked into autism symptoms and they've applied?
Well, me personally, I haven't looked into them, y'all. So I'm not gonna try to make stuff up. I'm just like, yeah, I did that. I haven't done that, y'all. I promise.
Yeah, I know for me, whenever I was like looking into stuff and also like first getting into therapy, that they tried to look into several things, and I know they didn't apply to me. You know, I think someone could be autistic and narcissistic, but you know, a lot of times they struggle with different aspects of empathy, so it looks narcissistic, but it's different in its manipulation or intent. You want to grab that one?
After no contact for 6 months, woo! He is doing subtle things like texting people we both know who he hasn't spoken since no contact. He even texts my mother. Should she even reply? No. Any response is a win for that person. You mean, oh yeah, they responded. No, even a mean response, even a don't test my damn phone anymore. Even a mean response. That doesn't seem subtle. Texting people we both know, that's not subtle. That's direct. You know, I just feel like if you have them blocked and that's their only form of communication that they have, they're going to try to use that form of communication. They're trying to exhaust all options to get to you in some way, shape, or form. They just are. You know, just protect yourself. Because like no response. Block to tell your mom or whoever talking to them, block them. Right. Because it's still getting back to you. You know what I mean? They're still getting back to you. So I just like, just hit that block button.
Yeah, absolutely. Why does he send text saying that I don't have to respond? That's just another way to try to like trigger you, try to get you to respond or just mess with your head, really.
Now, they probably can say they can really say some heinous, mean stuff to you in that circumstance. And like, you don't have to respond. Just know that you're a whore, and you nobody is ever going to want you again. Don't respond. No response needed. You're gonna respond to that because you don't want to be called a whore or whatever. You know what I mean? Don't let the look. If they can trigger you, they can control you. Just remember like that, y'all. Triggers, control. They can control you. Don't let them win.
Right. Why is my covert narc ex-girlfriend block and unblock me on social media? Follows me on her secondary account.
Did you block the secondary account? I just like if you don't block the
blocking and unblocking, then he could see them all, I guess.
Oh, that's a game right there. There's a woman I've been talking to. I did a one-on-one with her. her ex does that, something very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Just blocks, watches her story, unblocks her, watches her story, then blocks her again. It's just letting them know, just letting you know that they're watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's still about control, and knowledge is power. So they're still
Mm-hmm.
trying to get that knowledge about what's actually going on in your life
Yep.
to know if you're like truly happy or you're just faking it when you're with the next person, because that's what they would be doing.
Yep. Exactly.
I was already discarded from a narcissistic ex, and I texted that I was done with the emotional abuse, but he said he dislikes ultimatums and still wants me around.
Oh my
But he
God.
has discarded me 5 times. So a narcissist love to complain about ultimatums and people leaving them, and boundaries and all types of stuff that they're like, oh, you're being abusive with your boundaries. And like narcissists will always try to make that a thing, and throw it up so much that you would spend a lot of time like saying like, no, it's not like this, and explaining yourself versus actually just sticking to what you actually need or what to do. So
Yep.
if you're done with the emotional abuse, then be done with it and continue to block and move on, because otherwise he'll just keep manipulating.
Yep. Block and move on, y'all. I know it's easier said than done. We make it sound like it's just like, just hit that block button and move on. We, like I said, we understand. That's why we do it on one-on-ones. We understand that it takes more than just blocking. You have to do. There's other steps. There's other steps involved in it. But yeah, blocking is step one. Blocking and cutting off contact, cutting off access is step one, because you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick.
Mm-hmm. Freedom Fighter said, I'm free. Lee, remember me?
Freedom Fighter says she's free. Oh, let me see.
Oh, you can't see like who it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to remember you. I'm happy you're free. I'm happy.
That's awesome. My ex-narcs artist warned me about him in the beginning of our relationship, but she is in his world. When I cut ties with my ex, I cut her off too. She was upset that I did. Was I right?
Is that Abby that drove from Philly from the first meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Abby? I seen that picture. I was like, see,
Correct?
you remember you, see?
First people to meet us in person.
Yeah, you remember you. See, there you go, Abby. So I was like, wait, I know that picture. Abby from Philly. So sorry, I'll focus on the picture. I'm gonna read the question real quick. My ex-narcs artist warned me about him in the beginning of our relationship, but she is in his world, and when I cut ties with her ex, I cut her off too. She was upset I did. Was I right? So they right there is kind of situational. She was just like, because she warned you about him, she trying to show you, I guess she tried to show you who he was in the beginning. So she feel like she doesn't deserve to get cut off. She's like, I had your best interest I had your best interest up front. I told you about this person, and you still went against my best interest, but now I get cut off because you made the mistake of going against what I said. So did you make a mistake? I just feel like sometimes you have to cut off all access. So does it suck sometimes? Yeah, but some people are collateral damage. If she's still associated with, if she's still associated with him, knowing he's a bad person, that kind of it's not a good reflection on her either. Honestly,
did you see this? We're getting spam in here.
Oh my goodness,
voodoo spell right here. My gosh.
And my link didn't show up in the chat.
these pop up like all the time on like our videos of like people spamming. That's hilarious. I've never seen one happen on a live. Oh yeah, I forgot. Freedom Fighter. She threw in what'd she say? Oh, here you go. So my ex pulled the gun out on me and the kids. I filed for divorce.
Oh yeah. Be safe. I don't know if you still got that gun. Be safe. Woo! Somebody said they saw me at Walmart yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. They said it. What was it? You didn't remember who they were.
There's a story behind that. I was like rushing because she almost hit me with her car.
It's hard too. Like people look different on camera than they do in person too.
No, she was at the meetup.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, she was at the meetup, and I was just running by. Like I was running, I was crossing. Like she's like, "You go ahead, Lee." I was like, "You know me?" She's like, "You forgot me." I was like, "Oh yeah, I knew you." So yeah, sorry, y'all. See,
that's hilarious.
There you go.
Is there a way to stop my ex-husband from using our kids as his supply?
That's a little tight right there. How specifically is he using them as supply? I would ask. You know what I mean? because I feel like it really is tough. It is a tough situation to deal with unaware narcissistic people that are out to hurt you. I feel like a lot of conversations you're going to need to have to with your kids. You're gonna have to love them a little bit more, and just help them base their truth in reality. Not the truth, their actual truth, what he's saying to them, what he's doing to them, or whatever, trying to turn them against you, whatever. You have to learn. I mean, I don't know how old they are. This is a nuanced question, right?
Right.
A little bit. You got to work harder. Honestly, you can't cut him off. You wish you could just like, okay, I'm gonna cut this parent off. You wish you could do that sometimes, but it's not. It's not possible. So it's a lot more work falls onto you.
Yeah, I would say like at the end, or how the question is phrased, is there a way to stop my ex-husband? Like, no, there's not, because if the kids are over there and that's where they are, like there's not a way to be able to control them. Just like there's not a way to start your ex-husband, into self-awareness. So like that's the hard thing. So really it's working and engaging with the kids to be able to help them understand like what's going on in life and help them develop their emotional and mental maturity to be able to put up with that kind of stuff. There we go. Why do their family members stick up for them constantly, knowing how mean, vindictive, and full of shit that they are?
Again, this is one of these nuanced questions, right? So I'm gonna give you one reason. Sometimes the family members are going to be the worst enabler. I literally just posted a video on my TikTok and Instagram about this. How family and parents can be the worst enablers of that narcissistic person. They are not your friends. They are not your support. Most times, sometimes they might be, but most times they're going to support the narcissistic person because they're blood is thicker than water. You know what I mean? Even tainted narcissistic blood that y'all hate so much is thicker than water. You know what I mean? And they're going to go to bat for them a lot of times. This is my friend. This is my homeboy. This is my homegirl. This is my mama. This is my daddy. This is my son. This is my daughter. Whatever. They're going to go to bat for the narcissistic person.
Right.
And a lot of times they know. They just don't want to deal with it anymore. Sometimes they want you to stay in the life to deal with it. Because you become the buffer. You the narcissistic buffer. Like, you stand in between them and the narcissistic person using them, abusing them and stuff like that. So you are the source right now.
Yeah. I'd say a lot of times you also have like family members that are narcissistic. Like they could have come from a narcissistic family. And so that's just like normal, of how they're interacting. The other aspect that you see a lot of times is families that are enabling. And so they're constantly working on covering up what's happening with the other person. So they see that they're mean, vindictive, and, full of shit, but they don't care. They just care about their image, which is narcissistic in nature. But the enabling aspect means I'm going to do everything in my power to keep me looking good.
Yep.
So next meet and greet that's coming up is going to be October 15th in Austin, Texas. As of right now, I want to say there's like, was it 8
in a group
or 9? I think
it was 8 or 9.
I think it's 9 people that are coming. So there's at least like half of us that are going to be coming to Texas, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, no, it's here. Let me see.
Oh, this will be goodness, this is gonna be big. It's gonna be like, y'all. We had a good turnout in Durham, but I think it was just me. It was 5 of us. But me, Texas is gonna be big, y'all.
Right now, I got 10 actually. So Trey, Nia, Lisa, I'm pretty sure is gonna move whatever she can to do it. Breen, if she's able to work it, she's gonna come. Catherine, Lindsay, you, me, Carrie, and Ashley.
Oh wow.
That's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. So
wow.
So we're gonna have to figure out a venue in Texas to hold us all. Maybe pass around a hat so we can pay for a venue to hold us all. I don't know. We gotta figure this out. But yeah, we're excited about it. Coming up, Austin, Texas. Oh, interesting. As someone with a fragile ego, how do you deal with misinterpreting signals and perseverance?
You have a fragile ego? How do you deal with misinterpreting signals and perseverance? Oh goodness. I wish I had a better answer for you right here.
I feel like she's asking us.
Okay. Okay.
You think so?
Maybe?
I don't know.
I feel like
he's fragile because of I did not forget Carrie. Brittany, I said Carrie at the very end.
She said, and me.
Well, Brittany will be there too. Okay. I don't know if she's talking about the fragile ego being like her or like us, like because we have a fragile ego because of shame and guilt. I don't know.
We post that. Good question. Whoever commented that, get a
Yeah,
little bit.
repost it and clarify a little bit because I've already clicked off it by accident actually, but that was Brittany's fault. Anyways, do narcs play weird games to start fights? My ex would make a mess in the bathroom and then accuse my daughter of doing it.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they start weird. They'll do those weird games to start fights to go out there and cheat on you. I'm leaving. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Now I got what I wanted because we got into a fight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Will they just no talk to you once you leave, or will they always at some point? So I guess like you're asking, like, will they come back? The majority of time narcissists do come back unless you block, ghost, go no contact, change your identity, move the state, make sure there's no way they can contact you.
Yep. Not all narcissists hoover, y'all. They don't. Everybody doesn't try to come back.
Mm-hmm. Why do narcs never believe that other people have unfortunate things happen in their lives, like we're making up the crisis? I mean, a lot of times because that's what the narc would do. Like, when I had a big crisis, my crisis is bigger than your crisis. So if you have a crisis, you're probably just trying to manipulate me because that's something I would do.
Yeah. A lot of times narcissistic people project what they would do onto you.
Mm-hmm. How would you react or respond if you see your narc at work after months of no contact? We work from home, but sometimes have to go to the office setting. How to stay calm? How do you respond if you see him at work?
Stay calm. Get you a stress ball or something like that. I just feel like just understand that your reactions are your power. Mm-hmm. If you react, you lose. Because typically the reaction is going to be bigger than what caused it. Mm-hmm. They could just say hey to you, like, don't fucking speak to me. Oh. Piper's crazy. Told y'all she was crazy. Or them. Told y'all they were crazy. You know what I mean? So you got to stay in, control your reactions. And y'all, stop messing with people y'all work with. I don't know if this is a romantic relationship, but y'all don't. What's the saying? Don't shit where you eat. Because imagine if it blows up in your face. Mm-hmm. You got to see this person every day.
Right.
I'm just telling you. I've been the narcissist at work, and I think Ben has too. So we have both been the narcissists at work. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Since I saw narc in all caps, I want to go ahead and highlight real quick to download the narc app on Apple or Google Play.
Did it not even pop up when I typed it in? I put that in the chat too.
I don't think any links are coming through.
I put the narc app. Yeah, I just put it in there. I'll type it in and see if it comes up.
Maybe you're like blocked on this account or something. I don't know.
Ben and stonewalling me, y'all. That's what they do. That's what they do. Them narcissists, they'll stonewall.
I don't even see it pop up. But anyways, we do have an awesome app out there called the Narc app. Just type in NARC into Apple or into Google Play. You can download it there. You can track your no contact. You can record your truth. You can ask advice from other people who are in it, who have gotten out of it, who are working through it, all types of stuff. There's courses on there to learn about narcissism. There, Kirsten put it in there. There's courses to be able to learn about it. There's a lot of different people that are in the live that are on it that help out. There's a lot of different things on there in the app that's going on. We have weekly lives that are done on Monday nights that are secured. They're not broadcasted anywhere else. People come on screen, we interact, kind of talk through a bunch of different things. And we also have monthly coaching. So if you're a premium supporter on that app, we also have monthly coaching that's either from myself or other coaches or people around the country that are coming together trying to help focus on your healing, growth, and change as you get out of that relationship and as you continue moving forward. So definitely check that out on Apple or Google Play. It's called the NARC app. NARC stands for Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Community. NARC.
That's interesting. I put it in. I just typed download the NARC app, and it didn't pop up on either one. It didn't pop up on Facebook or YouTube.
That's weird because I'm in Streamlabs like normal. I mean StreamYard. I don't know. How do I help my daughter deal with her dad who constantly lies to her and she has caught on to his lies? The biggest thing right now is just be there for her. help her understand that, like, hey, like, this is what's going on. Doesn't mean you have to bash the other person or put them down, but it does mean you have to be there for them to help them process their emotions, their feelings. So they're going to start asking questions about it. So try to help be there for them. Kirsten's awesome support of the app. I really do appreciate it. There's a lot of people doing a really good job, like marking down their no contact. Yep, it is on both Android and Apple. Why do the family members of the narc who've never filed your stories before all of a sudden start looking at your stories? They're probably flying monkeys, either knowingly or unknowingly. Maybe to see what's going on. Maybe the other person is expressing like their concern about you, of like, I don't understand what's happening. I feel so bad. They might be trying to convince other people that something's going on. It's bugging you that's not showing up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still not. And I switched YouTube accounts. It's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know what. Probably some kind of setting I have over here or something. I'm not sure.
Can you peg a narcissist when you meet them?
So.
Oh yeah, she said, like, is it obvious when we meet a narc?
Okay, and I'm just like, well, you said peg. I was like, no, I don't.
Anyway,
my mind was in the gutter. So I don't think it's obvious. I don't, to me, I have to talk to him for a while. I mean, sometimes there's like a slip, micro expressions and things like that slips, and you can kind of tell who they are. But most times you have to get to know them. Yeah, like I said, there's no telltale signs or whatever, unless you want to joke with them or razz them or criticize them a little bit. There's really no telltale sign until you talk to them and get to know them. Just just watch them. Just watch them.
Is this still alive? Yes. How do you get a vulnerable narcissist to kick someone they used to triangulate against you out of their lives for the best interest, not think it's for yours?
So you trying to get them to remove their ex or somebody out of their life for your best interest, not for theirs? It sounds like you are trying to
manipulate the situation.
Yeah, like you're trying to manipulate the situation.
Well, first off, you sign up for narcissist school, and then you learn to become a narcissist, and then you get as toxic as them, and then you might have a chance. Otherwise, block, heal, grow, change.
What's the relationship dynamic with this person that you're vulnerable narcissist to kick someone they used to triangulate against you? They use this person against you. Say again, that's a little spicy right there, Mr. Ray, Sarah. That's a little spicy right there.
Do narcissists know they need supply?
I just feel like most people. So, what does supply mean to y'all? I feel like y'all have to. I feel like your definition of supply is typically just validation, y'all. Most people need some type of validation from some people. Narcissists tend to get it in toxic ways sometimes. Not the best way of getting that supply most times. Jesus, that's a long comment right there. Right, just like that. You asked the question. That's a question. You did.
They can't. Why do some narcissists get physically abusive when they rage? Is it because they can't control the person? Is it because they can't control the person only through physical abuse?
I feel like you just answered the question though. When you said that, yeah. Once they feel like they can't control you emotionally, they'll attack you physically. Well, not all of them. Some of them will get to that point where they attack you physically, and then they'll blame. A lot of them will blame you for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And in like a narcissist mind, and like once you get to like the sociopath and like the psychopath, like a sociopath and a psychopath can easily latch onto the idea that like physical abuse is okay in their mind because of how they've already like twisted the whole scenario of like, I'm entitled. This is my ego. Like, you should serve me. Like, the fact that you're not serving me is an act of rebellion and aggression towards me. And they can easily like get to the place where they are that way. And so you have to be really careful, especially when you go back. When you keep going back to the same person, that abuse gets worse and worse and worse.
So mine just my comment just came through on Facebook.
That's crazy.
The reason it wasn't coming on Facebook, I was commenting on the share of the live. So I was like, why is so yeah, I can comment off it. I don't know. YouTube, I don't know. YouTube is
That is weird. Is there a connection between narcs and alcoholics? Alcohol and drugs are a great way to sedate and to not feel the guilt and the shame.
there you go. Straight to the point.
If you give them everything they want, do you think they would be happy, like being submissive and giving in to them?
I just want more.
So think of it this way: how much have you changed in the relationship, and how much have they changed? Like, how much have they changed, and how much has it actually gotten better? Because typically, nothing's going to get better because the standard they set is always going to be moving. You're always going to try to get to it. It's always going to be moving. And think of it in this aspect: if hypothetically, if they set the standards here, and in 1 week you met the standard to 100%. The reason why it has to move is because if it met the standard, then the narcissist realized in that moment that you've met all of their qualifications. Now you're the perfect person in their mind because you met all their qualifications. They can't handle that because the relationship is still shit, and they have to realize that that shit belongs to them.
Yeah.
Yes, I did say go to narcissist school if you want to be manipulating someone like that. It's not healthy. You need to work on yourself, heal, grow, and change, and focus on like the right way of living versus trying to manipulate another person. What's the deal when the narc lets you get the last word in an argument? Is that part of the manipulation?
I'm not certain right there.
That's a new perspective.
Yeah, that's interesting because I rarely give up the last word. I don't care. You know,
The last word is like precious, you know.
yeah.
That's why Leah and I never stopped texting. That's okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you have many people approach you who are impacted by narcissists in different relationship capabilities, such as bosses, pastors, friends, etc.?
Friends, yeah. Bosses, yes. Not necessarily. Well, I've done one-on-ones with all of that. Now I just thought about it. Some of these pastor stories, y'all might stop going. You might stop going to church. Some of these
You want to hear some of those? Like, what's the book? When Narcissism Comes to Church.
Oh yeah, it's a good book. You sent that to me, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we've both had experiences with all of those right there. Friends, bosses, neighbors, co-workers, friends, siblings, a little bit of everything.
Yeah. No, speaking of pastor, she just said this. It's going back to the one where he's manipulating her or whatever. She's almost 11 and always saw him as an amazing, perfect person, and he's the pastor in a church.
Right.
So yeah, honesty is very key, and especially like at that age, like being honest of like, hey, this is what's going on, you know, is really key for the kids to be able to see, because you never want to be lying to the kids, and then otherwise they grow up and they're like, wait a second, like this is not matching up, and then you become the bad person too. What's your best advice on being done with a narcissist for good? I've been trying to stop contact for almost a year. So the reason why you're not stopping the contact and the reason why you're still going back is because you're still believing something. And typically that means you're stuck on a trauma bond, which is either hope or potential or cognitive dissonance, and you're still going back. And so you're not actually viewing the situation in reality, in light of truth. And as a result, you're manipulating yourself back to the person by believing a fantasy than you are believing in reality. So getting help to actually break down that fantasy and make sure that you're not going back to this person because of a false narrative that you're telling yourself. Who's the counselor or therapist that helps you? They seem very good at their job. I think both our therapists are pretty good at their job.
Yes.
I think it'd be cool someday. I think it'd be cool someday for us to like swap therapists for a week. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
What was up with the narc discarding you for a lesser supply? To feel better about themselves, my ex told me he was jealous of how outgoing I was and comment that I was better looking than him.
That could be, that could be true. But what is lesser supply? I feel like supply is supply. I feel like a lot of times looks don't matter to narcissistic people. Success doesn't matter to them and things like that. But yeah, if they told you all of that type of stuff, then yeah, they're doing things to mess with you intentionally.
Mhm.
Yeah, he always told me I look better than him. That's his insecurities bubbling to the surface right there. You
Mhm.
know, like you look better than me. Blah blah blah. No, we don't do that here.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Um,
Mm-mm.
Do undiagnosed narcissists ever feel something is wrong with the way of their thinking / hurtful actions? Did y'all ever feel like something was off about yourself?
Yeah, I just feel like most narcissistic people know the difference between right and wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah, in my personal story, yeah, I felt off for a very, very long time, but damn near almost 30 years now. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of feel like the most like unaware narc has at least an idea that there's something weird,
Yeah.
like something's different or like doesn't connect the same way.
You just can't quite put your finger on it.
Mhm. Is a narcissist capable of loving unconditionally? What would be the reason? What would be the reason to discard the relationship? If a narcissist is huh? If a narcissist is capable of loving unconditionally,
I don't think narcissistic people are capable of.
yeah, I think that's the problem with the question.
Yeah, I don't think they're capable of unconditional love. I think most love from narcissists comes with conditions and strings attached to it. You know.
Conditions, terms, agreements,
Yeah.
transactions.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's an aspect of loving unconditionally because I think like the concept of unconditional love for another person means that you take yourself and set it to the side for the better of someone else,
Yeah.
and that you're not going to see that in a narcissist.
Kind of make my stomach hurt thinking about that.
Can you share what to expect in a one-on-one with you?
Uh,
I don't think
perspective.
we've ever had to like describe them before.
Yeah. I just so for me, it's typically gonna be like perspective, validation, perspective. It depends on what the person is actually looking for. Everybody is looking for something different. Some people just want, some honesty about their situation and some predictions of what might happen. Some people want just like, I'm not crazy for thinking this, right? Some people want just to know that they're not crazy and to be validated. It really just depends on the person, you know. Some
Yeah,
people are trying to prep for court and things like that. It really just depends on the person in their situation. Sorry,
Yeah, I
man.
feel like I talk to like two main people, and that's like one, well, besides like narcissists, because I do talk to them or like couples every once in a while. But I feel like I do talk to like the two main types of like survivors that come to me are ones like to ask questions and kind of check in of like gauging the situation. And then the other aspect is probably the majority of the ones is either working on breaking through the trauma bond, like getting away from like the rumination phase, or like working on like the coaching of like how are we continuing in life to like change that mindset. Like I'm really big on change your story, change your life. Like go back to like what's getting you stuck. That story that's pulling you back to the narcissist, like the cognitive dissonance, the hope, the potential, the trauma bond that says, hey, this relationship's toxic, but I still want them back. I still want to see them. I still want to be with them. Well, it's because you believe in a story. And once we actually work on rewiring that story and getting you in truth, then we see a lot of times like your growth, healing, and change all of a sudden take like a ramp up because it clicks. And that's really like the mindset change that needs to happen. Does a narcissist think you will ever move on from the relationship? Will they ever think you will get tired of them?
So, sorry, I put in a link in the chat. It
Yeah,
worked.
it worked. At least on Facebook.
Yeah. It won't come up on YouTube for some reason. Then you have links blocked on there in your comments.
No, not that I know of.
No, okay. Oh, somebody did spam it earlier. So does a
I
narc?
blocked that person, but it shouldn't have blocked anything else.
Okay, I was like, it's probably something on my end. Does a
Did
narc?
that or StreamYard did something crazy. I don't know.
So most narcissists don't think you will ever leave them. I would say that. Well, not most. A lot of narcissists don't think you will ever leave them. That's why they treat you the way they treat you. They expect you to just tolerate it, especially if y'all been in a long-term relationship, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. they don't think you're going to leave them. So why would they change? Like, you've been tolerating this behavior for 2 decades. Why leave now? You know what I mean? Why now?
Yeah.
So some of them don't think you'll ever move on.
Yeah, a lot of narcissists don't think that that's even possible. Like, why would you do that? Or how could you do that? Or why would you leave me? Is it common where you're finding yourself doubting about your own conduct if that is what the narcissist told you? Like, sometimes questioning yourself if your tone of voice is not how they think it should be. Yeah, so I think a lot of times, like, narcissists want to be able to put that doubt in your head of like, oh, like, you're actually talking to me the wrong way. You're actually interacting the wrong way. If you would change this, then maybe I wouldn't yell at you as much. If you would have changed this, then maybe I wouldn't have cheated on you. Like, all that type of stuff is just manipulation.
But it's always something extra to get you to change or make you feel like you're not doing enough.
Mm-hmm. My narc recently tried to hoover me back again, and he told me he admits that he is insecure and he projected his insecurities onto me and he is sorry. I'm shocked that he was honest for the first time. Is he being honest?
Wait, what? What's the last part you said?
Being honest. We're supposed to be the lie detectors and figure it out.
Narc recently tried to hoover me back and told me he admits that he's insecure. He admits he's insecure on me. So I mean, what are the actions behind the words though? I always just say, what actions are they doing? Is there some therapy there, or did they look that up on the internet? It's like, oh, I'm just insecure and I projected it onto you. That sounds like that sounds like a textbook right there. Honestly, that sounds like textbook definition of a Hoovering apology. Just like, I'm sorry for everything I've done to you. I was insecure and this is that. I'm shocked that he was honest for the first time. Is he being honest? I feel like, again, what actions are there coming up? Or actions is there to back it up? You know, what actions are behind that to back up that statement or back up what he's saying? You know,
right.
I'm sorry. That's it.
If he's not putting in the work, then like, yeah. Because otherwise you just have a sorry, which is not an apology, but you just have a sorry, and then you have manipulation right behind it because nothing changes.
And does that change anything for you, though? Honestly, does that make anything better? That they projected you and projected their insecurities on you and hurt you and put you down and belittled you and stuff? Does that one sorry make anything better? Honestly,
right.
Why is it that when you have a rough patch with a narc and you start putting your foot down with them, why does it feel so stressful? Because you're not used to it. It's not what you're used to. You got conditioned not to stand up for yourself. So when you finally stand up for yourself, you're nervous. You put your foot down with a wobbly leg. You just like, just wobbly on a wobbly leg and things like that. So that does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Sure, man.
Well, we're wrapping up here. That was a super fast hour. If you guys haven't had a chance, download the Narc app. I know, right? That was an hour. NARC and the Google Play and the Apple Store. Feel free to check that out. If you want to talk to Lee or myself, like one-on-one, go to the link in our bios. We'd love to be able to interact with you, to be able to help you out as you're progressing through your healing journey, be able to answer some questions, help get you going any way that we can to help focus you moving forward with that healing, growth, and change. So we'd love to be able to talk to you, be able to help out any way that we can. So definitely check out some of our videos, check out some of our platforms, grab the links in the bio if you want to be able to talk sometime. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all tuning in. Austin, Texas, October 15th, live and in person, the new meet and greet, y'all. The Narc app, yes, the Narc app. Live and in person, Austin, Texas. It's going to be great, y'all. More details to come.
Yep. Y'all take care. Have a great night.